I'm fine, sir.
Okay. So if you are ready, we can begin with the session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Risha sir, please start.
Okay, so good morning, Pratik.
Good morning, sir.
So introduce yourself to the panel briefly.
Sir, my name is Pratik Indalkar. I am from Navi Mumbai. I am a graduate in mechanical engineering. My optionals in Indian Forest Service examination are forestry and agriculture engineering, and my hobbies are teaching and working in community garden.
Okay, so can you tell me something regarding your district?
Uh, Sir, I was born in Solapur, but brought up in Thane district, that is in Navi Mumbai. Thane is a coastal district. Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary is very famous, and recently it is being designated as the Ramsar site. And Thane is also famous for industrial zone that is existent in the Panvel Thane region.
Okay, suppose I come to Thane for 2-3 days, right? And you want me to visit some places. So which places would you recommend to me?
Sir, firstly, Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary is very famous. You can spot about thousands of flamingos there. Sir, secondly, there is Karnala Bird Sanctuary, which is which has very high diversity of birds. So thirdly, Elephanta caves are very near. They have to be accessed through some ferry, which can be taken from the Thane coastal region.
Okay, okay, fine. So you have studied Sanskrit as well, right?
Sir, it was an optional subject in 10th standard. Yes, sir, I have studied it.
So can you recall any shloka?
Sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall anything.
Okay, no problem. You have done your mechanical engineering, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me 5 subjects from your engineering?
Sir, firstly, thermodynamics. Secondly, mechanics. Fourthly, the HVAC system, where ventilation and air is studied. Fourthly, uh, production engineering was an elective subject for us. And sir, fifthly, there was also a subject on renewable energy.
And which one was your favorite one?
Sir, renewable energy, I used to study a bit.
Okay. Can you tell me zeroth law of thermodynamics?
Sorry, sir, I have not revised it as of yet.
Okay. You studied in Vivekanand School and College, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what was the core philosophy of Vivekanand?
Sir, his core philosophy is and universal brotherly.
There are there are different schools of philosophy, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I am asking about which school of philosophy did he follow?
Sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. So, can you name few schools of philosophy?
Sir, in Hinduism, there are six schools of philosophies. Firstly, Sankhya school. Second, Nyaya school. Thirdly, Yoga school. Fourthly, uh, Patanjali school. And sir, these are the schools. I am unable to recall the rest right now.
Okay. Okay. So, who is the governor of Maharashtra right now?
Sir, Mr. Baines.
Sure. And who is the vice president of India?
Sir, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar.
Okay. How many national parks are there in Maharashtra?
Sir, in Maharashtra, we have six national parks.
Can you name few of them?
Sir, National Park, Chandoni National Park, Navegao Nagzira, Tadoba, Pench National Park, and Gugam.
Okay. And have you been to one of these? Have you visited any of them?
Yes, sir. I have visited Sanjay Gandhi National Park and Tadoba National Park.
Okay. So what was the flora and fauna there in Sanjay National?
Sir, in Sanjay Gandhi National Park, uh, there were few flora species like Mangifera indica, Syzygium cumeni was there. Some terminale species were also there. And in the outskirts, there were some Gulmohar species.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, Mayank, that's all for right now. I will come back again. Okay, after a few minutes. Thank you, Pratik.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Pratik. Am I audible? Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Pratik, tell me, like, why do you want to join Indian Forest Services?
Sir, nature is something I'm very passionate about, and I feel this service can help me to remain close with the nature. And sir, secondly, it is an all India service. It has immense opportunities and job diversity, which will allow me to serve the people at the ground level.
All right. So, Pratik, like you said that you are very passionate about nature. So, tell me some of the, the manifestation of this passion, right? How this passion came into being, and what action have you taken till now?
Sir, uh, I was brought up in an urban landscape within a concrete jungle. So whenever I used to go to rural places, I used to uh, get amazed by the greenery. And in my residential area, which is an undergoing under construction region, there was debris dumping all over and lack of plantation was there. So I, along with few of my friends, we started planting trees around, and today it has evolved into a proper community garden with thousands of trees.
Okay. So, like, what is a community garden? How will you explain it to a layman?
Sir, community garden concept is actually a neighborhood land which is cultivated by people in the neighborhood.
Okay.
In my case, sir, there is a railway track which passes parallel to the residential complex, and there is a patch of land of municipal corporation which lies vacant, which was set aside for roadside plantation. But because the roadside plantation was not done, the debris was being dumped there. So we cleaned it up and we started to plant trees to make the area greener.
Okay. So, did you had to take permission from someone from the municipality for that?
Sir, in the beginning, it was very informal. We just cleaned the debris and planted some trees. But over the period of time, the municipal corporation has supported us, but we don't have any formal agreement or permission on that.
Okay. So, what all trees or the plants have you planted there?
Sir, in the beginning, we planted 4 5 species, but only two survived. That was tropical almond and gulmohar. And after that, when the soil composition changed slowly, we have introduced newer species like Mangifera indica is there, Azadiricta indica is there, and some banana and papayas also there.
Okay. So, like, banana trees grow in Navi Mumbai. What is the climate needed for banana trees?
Sir, it needs humid climate and it needs a lot of rainfall. The precipitation has to be high. And sir, banana can be easily grown if the water is provided. So we tried planting banana trees and it grew it there.
Okay. So, what is the state tree of Maharashtra?
Sir, it is Jarul, the pride of India, it is called as.
Okay. What like how does it look like? What it is? The rule?
Sir, it is a flower. It looks like a bit of beauty of monosperma. It
Okay, the
looks like it.
Palash tree. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like palastrum.
Okay. So like you live in Navi Mumbai, which is a coastal area, right? So there must be a lot of mangroves also, like in your in the Mumbai region. So can you tell me few of the species of mangroves?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the Thane district region, the Avicennia officinalis is the majority, is the dominant species. Other than that, Avicennia marina is there, Rhizophoras is there, Brugeria is also there, and yes, sir, these are the main dominant species.
Okay, okay. So Pratik, have you heard about the cheetah translocation presently ongoing in India?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me something about it?
Sir, the cheetah translocation is the first intercontinental translocation project in the world. We are bringing some cheetahs from South Africa and Namibia and introducing it in Punopalpur National Park to revive the grassland ecosystem over there. As of now, we have brought 20 of the cheetahs, but unfortunately, some six cheetahs have died.
Okay. All right. So, like you mentioned, to conserve the grassland ecosystem of our country. So, tell me few of the grasslands of India are grassland like where in which all geographical location can we find grasslands?
Sir, grasslands are found in Madhya Pradesh region, in the Punopalpur region. Some are also found in Gujarat and Rajasthan region, where the southern tropical thorn forest gets merged into uh, southern tropical dry deciduous forest. In that region, grassland ecosystem is found.
Okay. Okay. Tell me something. Some non-timber forest produce from Maharashtra. Some most important non-timber forest produce from Maharashtra.
So, firstly, tendu leaves is a very valuable forest produce. So, secondly, honey is there, which is produced in the Chandrapur Gadchiroli region. Thirdly, gums are also collected by the forest dwellers. And sir, fourthly, the fuel wood is there.
Okay. So, have you heard about the term Vanya silk? Or and is Vanya silk part of non-timber forest produce?
Yes, sir, it should be a part of
Can you
non-timber forest.
tell me what all varieties of silk comes under Vanya silk?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it. I'll read about it.
All right, right. So, like that's it. That's it from my side. Satvik sir, are you there? Please take over.
Good morning, Pratik.
Good morning, sir.
So, how is the interview going?
Sir, some lack of content is there, but other than that, it is fine.
Everything is fine.
Not everything, sir, but lack of content is there. It is an issue.
Okay, so you have written that you teach, right?
Yes, sir.
So, tell me one thing. What do you teach?
Sir, actually, it is a kind of remedial education which I provide to students of my mom's school. They are from vernacular background and they have issues in translation and pronunciation in English. So I teach all the subjects, but it is a doubt solving session as such.
So up to what class?
Sir, secondary level from 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Wonderful. So, Pratik, why do you think India has very less recruitment in terms of teachers, but there are more proposals for buildings of schools? Do you understand my question?
Yes, sir. Uh, Sir, the education system is highly privatized today, and the private schools are coming up which uh, demand for permissions. And with respect to teachers, so teaching is a very low remunerative job in private sector, while in public sector the salaries are very good. So that is an issue that uh, people in general are not inclined towards the private teaching, and they are more inclined to get some kind of government job in Maharashtra at least, sir.
So are you saying, Pratik, that the government is giving advertising for teaching jobs, but people are not there?
No, sir.
What I'm asking that from government side, there are too many proposals for to construct a government school, but there are very few proposals to recruit teachers across all the states. Don't be very specific to Maharashtra. This is not Maharashtra case.
Yes, sir. Sir, under the Right to Education Act, we have a clause that says that a minimum, no, a school should be there in a minimum distance from the students. So within 2 to 3 kilometers, we need a school for children. And to maybe to comply with this clause, there is the increased permission for schools, but there the teacher pupil ratio is very skewed, where number of students coming to schools are very less. So because of that, number of teachers required in the rural region is also less. So that can be a reason.
Okay. So when you say that you did plantation for the community garden, something.
Yes,
So how many months, for how long have you been associated with it?
so since 2008.
Okay. So what is the height of Mangifera indica right now?
Sir, Mangifera indica was very recently planted, so it is about 6 to 10 feet.
It's recent. So what is the highest tree that you have in your community garden?
Sir, Gulmohar, it was the oldest. It is the oldest tree that we have planted.
What is the height?
Sir, it has reached up to third to fourth story of the building.
Okay. So what are the process and the timings do you follow while doing the plantation?
Sir, timings with respect to.
With respect to the digging of pits and all, starting
Yes.
from there to the development of nursery and all those things.
Sir, with respect to plantation, we generally plant in the last week of May or first week of June, so that the initial 3 4 months of watering is taken care by monsoon rains. And sir, in after we dig the holes and plant the trees, we make sure that there is no bunding up around the tree, because in monsoon in Mumbai we have very heavy monsoon, and water logging can be there and it can lead to root rot. Sir, after this 3 to 4 months of monsoon, we uh, give watering to the plantations in the morning session generally. And sir, we also have some pits which we have dug in for making of organic fertilizer. We dump all the leaf litter there, and after every 6 months, we take it out and spread it into the garden.
Do you have any kind of fencing in your community garden?
Yes, sir. We have a proper iron fencing that has been provided by the municipal corporation itself.
Okay. So what kind of leaves do stray animals eat?
Sir, in the community garden that we have, there are no
Yes.
stray animals that eat, but generally acacia species is eaten by the grazing animals.
Acacia is
but it is not there in our community garden.
Okay. So you talked about bird sanctuary
Yes.
that you have visited national park. So tell me from the scratch, how do you decide that this area is good enough to declare a bird sanctuary?
Sir, I'm not aware of the technical details of the criteria that is followed. But, sir, firstly, the species diversity must be taken into consideration, the biodiversity of the place. Secondly, sir, the water and the wetland ecosystem over there, because most of the birds live near the water bodies. And, sir, thirdly, the the resources, their food resources of the birds need to be taken care of. And so fourthly, are there any human habitations in and around the sanctuary, and how are they going to impact? How is the local industrial pollution going to impact? And accordingly, a bird sanctuary can be designated.
So, which national park did you recently visit?
Sir, Sanjay Gandhi National Park and Tadoba National Park, both I have visited.
Can you compare both of them?
Yes, sir. Sir, with respect to the fauna or forest type, the Sanjay Gandhi National Park is southern tropical semi-evergreen forest, while the Tadoba National Park is semi-decid. It is dry deciduous, southern tropical dry deciduous forest. And in terms of fauna, the Tadoba has a lot of tigers, while Sanjay Gandhi National Park is famous for leopards. And with respect to the tribes present in Tadoba, there are Gonds, Madia Gonds present, while in Sanjay Gandhi National Park, there are Warlis and Katkaris present.
Okay. You have written that you have done your engineering, you have mechanical engineering background, right?
Yes, sir.
How can this be used in the forestry sector nowadays?
Sir, firstly, in mechanical engineering, we had a concept of PERT chart and CPM, where we see how inventory is managed and how the projects will go according to the time bound limits. That can be used here in preparation and implementation of working plan, where the implementation can be time bound and all the activities that are to be done can be numbered and then implemented. Secondly, the modern technologies can be introduced. For example, 3D printing is in news nowadays. There was a recent news that a post office was built through 3D printing. This we can use in forestry, where some portable huts can be used by 3D printing in mass number and can be deployed wherever required in forestry. For example, when the deployment is in anti-poaching for anti-poaching activities.
Do you know what is the carbon footprint of this 3D technology?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
So, are you helping the environment or are you actually hampering the environment?
Sir, 3D printing is a emerging technology, and I'm not aware of the carbon footprint by the technology, but there must be some cost benefit analysis before introducing it for any purpose.
So, what is your take on electrical vehicles?
Sir, it is a revolutionary technology that is reducing the pollution in transport sector, and it reduces the direct pollution that comes from the vehicles, even if it is not reducing the other types of pollution that is being created by thermal power plants that produce that electricity.
Pratik, you are giving an answer which is very much alike with the politicians. Kindly give a scientific answer.
Sir, I feel electrical vehicles is a good move, and it is going to help to reduce the carbon footprint if the in the back end the electricity is produced through renewable energy.
So, do you feel that India is ready for this kind of evolution?
Sir, I feel that we cannot determine a specific time after which India may become ready. It is a gradual process. We will take decades to adopt such a big technology, and India is moving in the direction of increasing renewable energy. So I feel India is ready.
Okay, so what is the how much renewable energy is there in India right now? What is the
Sir, about
percentage?
sir, it is about 40%.
So while we are producing 40% from renewable energy, we are ready.
Sir, it is very difficult that we will wait for making it 100% and then we will go to EVs. Sir, the best part of electrical vehicles is that there is no emission from directly from the vehicle. So the whatever the emissions are there, that are point source emissions which can be controlled if we regulate the thermal power plants or go for energy transition from thermal to renewable.
Okay, very good. Have you heard the logo of Indian Forest Services?
Sorry,
What is
sir.
the logo?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Where do you get trained after you get selected in the service?
Sir, IGNF Academy in Dehradun.
What is the full form?
Sir, Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Pratik. That's all from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Pratik, I would ask you a few questions. Like you are interested in teaching, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are related with education sector and all. So, can you tell us three reforms which you would like to see in UPSC?
Sir, firstly, there has to be transparency with regard to the whole process. So, there can be an option where the people who have not cleared a particular stage should be given their mark sheet then and there itself so that they can analyze it and take the decision. The secondly, there is a high number of candidates who have appeared for the interviews but are not getting any benefits as such in private sector. So after 5 to 6 years of UPSC journey, they have nothing in their hands. So they should be recruited somewhere in the government sector. And sir,
Okay, but
thirdly, I
in
feel,
the exam in the examination process, what do you suggest? Like in change in syllabus, change in pattern of prelims, means like this. मतलब,
sir, with the recent CSAT paper in the prelims, I feel that it is very disadvantageous for some streams of students, and the difficulty should be reduced for qualifying papers. Secondly, in the optional subjects, there are some optional subjects which score very high and some very low. So there a decision can be taken that optional subjects can be removed completely, and the focus should be on GS where there is a uniformity, some kind of uniformity would be there in assessment.
okay, and you told us regarding the cheetah, right? The project cheetah, which has been they have been introduced from Namibia, from Africa, and six of them have they have died, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what are the reasons? Aren't they suitable for our environment, or just for the sake of introduction, we hastily introduce them in our environment? What do you think?
Sir, before
Was it a
introduction,
good move? So, was
yes,
it a good move on part of them?
sir, before introduction, relevant scientific studies were made, but any translocation, especially an intercontinental translocation uh, project, has only 50% of survival rate scientifically. So, as of now, three adults have died, but all the three have died for different reasons. One for renal failure, one from cardiac arrest, and one from violence during mating. And the four cubs that were born, three were died due to the extreme weather conditions. But sir, in cheetah, the survival rate of cubs is very low. It is about only about 10% of the total newborn babies. So I feel that should also be considered while passing any kind of judgment with regard to the failure of cheetah introduction.
There have been several experts who are telling that the Kuno National Park that is suitable for maximum of 10 cheetah that whole area, right? So don't you think introducing 20 of them then and there was a good move?
Yes, sir. Sir, I beg to differ on the fact because what I have read that Kuno Palpur has a maximum capacity of about 23 cheetahs and currently 20 are introduced. And the further introduction would be in Gandhinagar Wildlife Sanctuary, which is nearby. And sir, even Mukundra Tiger Reserve is also a good place according to the Rajasthan government. So that can also be explored. And yes, sir, the capacity of the habitat has to be considered while introduction of cheetahs.
Okay, so several people they domesticate animals from temperate countries like these husky dogs and all. So they are bringing the exotic species over here and domesticating in India. So what do you think? Is it right to domesticate the animals which are not indigenous to our climate?
Sir, if it is domesticated in weather which is temperate in nature, then it is fine. But if they are domesticating it in tropical regions like uh, Mumbai, then there is a problem. The huskies may suffer from different diseases and they may not suit in the nearby weather. So some scientific study must be there, which will uh, talk about the impact of the India's weather on these exotic species, and if there are no adverse effects, then I feel it can be allowed.
So earlier, when the our dignitaries like PM or president, they visited other countries, then the people over there they gifted them such a species. But right now, this has been totally banned. Are
Sir,
you aware of this?
no, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay, okay, fine. So, can you name few Ramsar sites from your state?
Sir, Nandur Madhameshwar is a site that I know of, and recently the Thane Creek Wildlife Sanctuary is also being given the Ramsar site status.
Okay, okay. And what is this Montrex record?
Sir, Montrex record is a list of Ramsar sites which have undergone adverse changes in ecological systems and which need some kind of protection and conservation to revive the ecosystem.
Okay. So, three things from Thane which you would like to bring to other parts of the country. The three best practices or things which you would like to introduce to other parts of our country.
Sir, firstly, Thane or Navi Mumbai region is second is considered as the third most cleanest city according to Swachh Sarvekshan. So this uh, city planning and solid waste management plan can be implemented in other urban areas. Sir, secondly, Thane has number of satellite planned cities like Navi Mumbai is there. Another is coming up in the Navi Mumbai airport area and other Mira Bhayandar region. All these are very planned and then expanded. This can be replicated in other urban sprawl region where the urbanization is not very planned. And so thirdly, the constructions are focused on green buildings. For instance, there is a Seawoods railway station, which is an commercial complex come residential complex, where there is an inbuilt solid waste management plant in the basement, which produces organic fertilizers and distributes it to the local gardens. And even in our community garden, we source it from there. So these three are the best practices I feel can be replicated.
Okay, okay. So my last question to you, tell me your two strengths and two weaknesses.
Sir, the first strength is, sir, I feel I am a person of impeccable integrity. And second strength I feel is perseverance, sir. Even after a number of years of failures, I am still carrying on with the journey. And sir, in case of weaknesses, first weakness can be that sometimes I tend to overthink, and that makes me a bit slow in the process. And sir, second weakness I am unable to think of right now.
So you don't allow things to let go. That could be one of your weakness. Like you said, key perseverance is your strength. But on another side, we can say you are not allowing the things to let go.
Yes, sir. That is also a good point. Letting go has to come at the right time, and maybe I am not that skilled as of now to get the right timing in letting go the things.
Okay, okay. That's all, Pratik. Thank
So,
you.
okay, Pratik,
Thank you.
am I audible? Okay, Pratik,
Yes,
this
sir.
session is over. You can please leave.